Hello guys and welcome back to GPC week 10. So we're now in the final 2 weeks and we're in a really great position for playoffs, but this week we're going up against El Ciso. You probably all know him. He's quite famous because he's also in the GBA and he's done great for the past few seasons. He didn't make playoffs this season, but he still had a nice season and there were strong opponents. Also in the GPC, he won the first season, and now he came back and he's trying to get another title, and he's also in the playoff race. And if we beat him today, we're in a really great position. We then are clinched for playoffs, and also we will be in top 3. Top 4 goes to playoffs, so we won't be in 4th place, which means we also avoid the top player from the other division, which we otherwise would have had to play in the first round. So that's also nice. So we have to, we are clearly aiming to win, but even if we don't win, we still have a great shot at playoffs. So I don't have much time, so I'll go over the team a bit quickly. So you see here his team. He has the Mega Charge at Y, the Extra Tyranitar, DNC, Slowking, and Crobat. So all in all, he has the Sun and the Sand. He also had a Venusaur to sweep in the Sun, so that also was really scary for my team. So I was happy I didn't see that one. Other than that, it was like a bit what I expected. I kind of expected the Venusaur to come, and yeah, he could have brought some things a little bit different, but I think I'm quite prepared for it. So well, my team consists of Weavile. It's a kind of standard life orb offensive Weavile, but you will see it has one little trick up its sleeve. And then we have Flygon. Flygon here this week is a Spadef Flygon. It's kind of dead to take on Mega Charge at Y, as it can take 2 Fire Blast, and it has Roost, Defog, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. Stone Edge, Earthquake is nice coverage for his team. Oko's the Sword. Earthquake hits his team really nicely. Yeah, it's mainly Spadef. It can take 2 Dragon Pulses from a Charge at Y, but he has to predict that Flygon is the counter, and he has to Dragon Pulse me on the switch. I can take Fire Blast into Dragon Pulse. If he runs HP Ice, that could be the case, but it's very not likely because he needs the coverage he has. He needs Fire Blast, Solar Beam kinda, and then something to hit Chandelure, most likely kinda hard. And then last move could be anything, most likely something like Roost. So Flygon is there to kind of take on the Charizard. If not, it can also defog and just provide some nice pivoting, just by being the switch in to some hits. Then Mega Aggron, fairly standard one, mostly Spadef, just here to set up Stealth Rocks mainly, then just some coverage on it because Heavy Slam just hits most of the team quite nicely. Then Earthquake specifically for the extra as can still take, if he's not adamant life up, can take 2 Earthquakes really nicely due to its bulk. And then I had Rock Slide on it because I didn't want I wanted to be able to hit Charge at Y. Maybe getting him on a prediction, maybe getting him as he tries to Roost, as Rock Slide still does over half them, or just predict switch him. Same goes for so that's that. Then Thunderous this week is in Agility 3 attacks, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, HP Ice, was great coverage for his team. I opted for Agility mainly for his Sand Sweep in the extra drill, and Venusaur to be able to outspeed them, and then possibly clean up his team if his team is lowered. It also has a Charlie Berry, therefore maybe Scarf Tyranitar can catch that maybe, or the extra drill if it gets out of hand in the sand. I can take that Rock Slide and then kill it with a Focus Blast if I connect. Then Hexorus this week, I mainly needed Dragon Claw and Earthquake, so I made a double dance variant. So yeah, fairly standardish. And then Alomomola. Sorry guys, a bit under the weather, but not that much. Alomola, it's a really defensive Alomola because on this team the other things don't really want to switch into physical moves that nicely, so mainly there for something like the Tyranitar, mainly there for the extra drill. Can take any one hit, even Adamant Life Orb. Has Waterfall plus Aqua Jet as the coverage, and then just the Wish to heal up. And then so that's the Alamara. So also very standard with Rocky Helmet to get some chip damage here and there. And just to provide wish support for the team mainly, and be that pivot switch into something like extra drill, stall out some sand turns, this and that. So all in all, mainly a core of like 3 offensive mons, Hexorus, Thunderous, Weavile, and the 3 defensive Flygon, Mega Aggron, and Alamara. So we will now go into the battle. So I decided to lead with my Thunderous, because I thought Mega Aggron such an obvious lead. I thought, okay, maybe he counter leads that completely goes Charizard turn 1. I might have to risk Flygon then by switching him, or maybe he lead. Yeah, so I thought Thunderous is like, it counters Charizard and overall has a quite nice matchup, and guess most things he would probably lead with. So I like 10 Thunderous, he leads Tyranitar. I think, okay, if he scarfed Tyranitar and he thinks, okay, I can just maybe get a sneaky kill here. If he's not expecting Scarf with Stone Edge, I can take it with Charlie Berry, kill him with a Focus Blast. And if he tries to set up rocks, can also go for that big Focus Blast on it. So that's exactly what I do. So I go for Focus Blast and I miss. So I'm thinking immediately, oh god, is this how the match will go? That will not be great. But so let's play that. So he goes for Stone Edge. Due to the Charlie Berry, I take it quite well, revealing to me that he's not that offensive. So I've decided, okay, maybe he now thinks, okay, I can get up rocks. Maybe he will now switch out, because yeah, most likely this is like Chopper Berry Tito, otherwise you wouldn't stay in. So maybe I switch and he goes for rocks, I thought, or maybe he tries to pursue me on the switch. I thought, okay, let me just stay in, go for that Focus Blast, because if I get that Focus Blast off and I pop that Chopper Berry, he's in range for Weavile, so that's also really nice. And it's also weakened, helps also Hexorus, and also if Sand's out of the way, then Extra is not that big of a problem anymore. So I go for the Focus Blast. He's indeed Chopper Berry, he's also really bulky, and he just takes me out with an Ice Beam. Okay, doesn't mind one offensive threat of me out of the way, that's a bit unfortunate, but I can bring on Weavile. This is like a really obvious low kick. And I know due to the popping of the Chopper Berry, low kick will kill. And if I look at his team, is most likely Weavile switch in is indeed at the end, and I indeed expected that he could bring Diancie as like kind of the Weavile answer. So so as he indeed goes into the Diancie, and I reveal the Iron Tail, and luckily I hit and I just straight up KO it. So that was really nice. Also Iron Tail was quite a safe play also, because Iron Tail from that range also killed the Tyranitar. So yeah, I kill Diancie like in turn 3 already, so that's nice. We're 5-5 again, and Weavile is looking to be a great threat for his team. So mainly what I thought at this point was, okay, Sand Drill can be a bit scary. That's the main threat for Weavile at the moment, but they just have like to get up rocks, to get Charizard, Crobat in range, and then maybe I was expecting Colbur, Slowking, maybe pop the Colbur on Slowking and get it really low, that Weavile can win the game. So that's the win con for now. So he indeed goes in Sand Drill, so I just make a safe play into Alomola. He goes for a safe Iron Head, I get some damage on him quite nicely. I thought, okay, for a long time I thought, okay, I could double, but yeah, what do I really want to double into Slowking? So I thought, okay, let me just throw up a wish, maybe he doesn't go Slowking, but he does indeed go Slowking. So I thought, okay, let me go Hexorus, because with maybe Sword Sense I can try to break the Slowking. If Slowking is low, Weavile is also looking to be better this match. So I decided to go hard into Hexorus. Also, if I take Ice Beam, Wish gets me back up, like every move Slowking would go for. Only thing annoying would be a Scald Burn, so let's hope that won't happen. He makes a double into Crobat, so here I'm thinking, okay, this Crobat, he most likely will go for Taunt, because if you look at his team, he doesn't really appreciate a setup Hexorus at this point. So I thought, okay, let me just get Dragon Claw damage off, look what kind of Crobat this is, if this is really defensive. kind of what I was expecting. But he just goes straight for the Super Fang as I go for Dragon Claw, and he indeed is quite bulky Crobat. And yeah, this is quite unfortunate, because if I had set up a Dragon Dance here, I could have two-shotted him the next 2 turns, which could have been nice. Or even if I set up a Swords, then yeah, it would be. But now I thought, okay, let me now set up that Dragon Dance, because I can still take a Brave Bird, and from this range, if I set up a Dragon Dance and he doesn't roost, I can kill him, and otherwise 2 Dragon Claws kill him. But he goes for U-turn. As I go for Dragon Claw, he U-turns out into the Slowking, and here I was thinking for a long time, because this Slowking is most likely going to kill me, and that means Weavile is like my main offensive threat and my only real offensive threat left. But I also thought, as I said before, if Slowking is really low, Weavile is a better win con. So I decided to take my chances, go for Dragon Claw. This damage reveals to me that he is not a defensive Slowking. He could still be a Spadef Slowking, but I was thinking Spadef Slowking doesn't really make sense when my main special threats are like Thunderous and Chandelure. So maybe he's offensive, I don't know. He reveals Psychic, okay, fine, he takes me out. Here I go Weavile, because I know even if he has Colbur, I can kill him. So I go for a safe knockoff. Also kind of expected Tyranitar, but I didn't really want to miss like Ice Crashes if he decided to stay in and just sack off his Slowking. So I went for a safe knockoff. So do some damage on Tyranitar, take some damage. I think here I make the play into the Aggron, because yeah, he's most likely just or he doubles or he just stays in. And yeah. Okay, sorry, I got interrupted, but so I decided to go into Aggron, because I thought Tyranitar most likely, if he stays in, can't really do much to me. I didn't want to risk like missing an Iron Tail on Tyranitar, losing my Weavile, probably losing the game. Also, if he made a double, if it was not Charge Out, which was not a likely switch in, Aggron was like a fine play, and I can get up my rocks here. First I thought, and I clicked it also, I clicked Rock Slide here, because I thought maybe Charge Out comes in, but then I was thinking, yeah, but if Charge Out doesn't come in, and like he goes maybe Slowking, try to heal up, maybe extra drill to get some pressure, maybe just stay in with Tyranitar, have like fire coverage, Fire Blast, something like that. And that would not be nice, and I knew Weavile was like the win con, and I knew for Weavile to be a better win con, it would be a better win con with Rock Slide, because that precious Charge Out and that precious Crobat, putting them in range for Weavile. Also at this point, I thought I saw Crobat was bulky, but I didn't saw like Black Sludge, so I thought maybe it's Yachi Berry to take like a sneaky Ice Shard from Weavile and then kill it from that. So I also wanted to put Crobat low enough that even with Yachi Berry, Ice Shard could kill. So here I go for the rocks, as he indeed goes into his Charge Out. So that's a bit unfortunate. Had I clicked Rock Slide, that would have been golden, but I thought Rock Slide would help me in the long run. So here I'm thinking, okay, he's most likely just going to Fire Blast. He doesn't lose much by it. So let me just go out into Flygon and go from there. He indeed goes for the Fire Blast. He connects, and it doesn't only do 40%. I get some leftovers back, and here I'm thinking, okay, if he has Dragon Pulse, I take it, kill him with a Stone Edge. If he has HP Ice, that would be really unfortunate. But yeah, if he has HP Ice, I think this can potentially be game, because I think he one-shots Mega Aggron, he one-shots Almola, and I don't think Weavile can one-shot his Charge Out Y from this range. So my only play was just to stay in, go for the Stone Edge, because yeah, as I said, HP Ice was not really obvious. So he goes for a substitute, maybe expecting Almola, or just trying to get up a sub, looking what I do, maybe expecting me to U-turn out. As I just go for the safe Stone Edge, I luckily connect it, so I break a sub, get some more leftovers back. He reveals to, he goes for Solar Beam, most likely because he didn't back the coverage for Flygon, and Solar Beam always connects and Fire Blast does not. As I go for Stone Edge again, and luckily I connect, crit doesn't matter. After the match he told me, yeah, for him it was really hard to come up with Mega Charizard. Why said he most likely thought I would bring like a combination of Chandelure plus Alomola to try to wall his Charizard Y, So he brought Ominous Wind as last move on the Charizard. Substitute was mainly for Alomola if it was like AV Mirror Coat. So that's yeah, I think that's quite nice planning by him, because yeah, I definitely considered like AV Alomola, but I thought yeah, it could just be taken advantage of. And same with Chandelure, I almost bought Chandelure, but it was like, yeah, he could run Ancient Power, Ominous Wind, maybe even Earthquake for it on his Charizard, so he could run coverage, and that's why I ultimately decided on that Flygon. Flygon was not the like the main switch in, but it also had like Thunderous that could one-shot in. Hexorus could deal kind of with it, because it can take any one hit and deal big damage if it gets a bit lower. Same goes for Weavile if he just has a bit chip damage, and especially when rocks are up, that's really nice. So that's ultimately why I went with Flygon, and yeah, that's the reason why. And he didn't really expect the Flygon as the kind of counter, because 2 Dragon Pulses would kill me, so that's also fair enough. So here he goes Slow King, and I'm thinking, okay, he's at 47%. That doesn't mean I can kill him with an Earthquake, but he, as I said before, there's a great chance he is offensive, and that he doesn't pack recovery. And I also kind of wanted to scout for the recovery, because yeah, he can recover up on Mega Aggron, Alomola also, not so much on Weavile, but if he has a Golden Berry and is able to, if I go now Weavile, he recovers, has Golden Berry, can take a hit, that's also not good. So I decided, okay, let me just make the semi-aggressive play and just go for that Earthquake, as yeah, the most likely thing is that he is offensive. So I go for the Earthquake, as he makes a double. He wanted to get the health back on the Slow King, probably he had the Golden Berry, and he wanted to be able to take a hit from Weavile. And he makes a double into Exodil, because he thought I would have a U-turn, which most Flygons carry, but this one didn't. And with U-turn, I could take like the momentum from everything and still hit the Slow King. And he decided, okay, then Exodil is my best play, because even if I U-turn, yeah, from the range, Weavile couldn't most likely not kill, because I didn't back Low Kick. And Mega Aggron, he could get damage off, could potentially switch on that, and same goes for Alomola. But as I said, I just went for an EQ, and I just straight up kills this Exodil, which was really nice for me, because this means it's now 4-3, but also Exodil was like the main threat left on his team for mainly the Weavile, so that was really nice for me. He now goes out into Crobat, and for me, I still thought, okay, this could be Yachibe Crobat. So for Weavile to be able to win, I wanted this Crobat to be low at any point in time. I didn't want it to be able to recover up. Don't mind if I lose Flygon in the process, but I don't want Crobat healthy. So that's why I decided, okay, if he tries to roost, let me just go for an EQ. If he attacks me, I can still live, and due to recall and such, he most likely it will either be a double down, or he's so low that he can't come into rocks and Weavile can just pick it off. So he indeed tries to roost up on me, as I just go for an EQ, bring him down to 6%. Here I'm still in the same mindset, I don't want him to roost up alongside me, so that's why I decided to just EQ again and not roost, as it was most obvious that he would just attack me, as he indeed did. I live, he goes down, now he goes Slow King again, I believe, yes, and he has quite some health, so I want him to be lower, mainly if he's Golden Berry, Weavile, want to kill him. So I just go for an EQ, it's a 2-shot, but he indeed is the offensive variant, and he has the Trick Room, which is a bit scary. So Flygon goes down, I go Aggron, and if he is max HP, which he most likely is, this Earthquake is a roll to kill. I think it's even in his favor. So if he has Fire Blast, he could 2-shot me, but this EQ would put him like 1%, so I can pick him off with an Ice Shard, go from there. Or Alomola could stall out in turns, but we can play from there. If he doesn't pack Fire Blast, as he reveals, he doesn't. He has Scald. Luckily, I don't get burned. I get quite a high roll, I think. I kill him, and due to Trick Room, I'm slower than this T-Tar, and I just also killed with an Earthquake, and that means I win 3-0 from Alciso. And yeah, this was definitely a good game. It was also quite fast, only 22 turns, but yeah, we quite had to think about most of the turns quite hard, because yeah, it was like mon after mon went down, and I was like, okay, Weevil can still win this game, but yeah, it was really hard losing Thunderous and Hexer so early on. But luckily we pulled through. The planning definitely was nice. The Flygon got him by surprise and really carried the team on the back. And Weevil was just a menace. It always is. So luckily we were able to win 3-0, and we advanced to the playoffs, and we also are now in top 3 guaranteed. The positioning will depend on the last week, will depend on the other matches. So you will hear from me next week, guys, and let's just continue this winning streak with 1 week left. We're facing Bluesy, a good friend of mine and also an admin of the GPC. So I hope we will have a great match, and we most likely will, and I will see you then. Bye.